So Boosted just released 4 new boards. And the question now is, which one should you get? Hey everyone, welcome back to TechByte. Today we're going to be taking all the information we know about the new Boosted boards, compressing it down into one easy to watch video so that you can make the decision of which Boosted board is best suited for you. So we are going to be comparing the Boosted Mini to the Boosted Classic, the new standard Boosted board, then taking the Classic and comparing it with the second generation Boosted board, which they still sell. And then we're going to take the Classic and compare it to the new top of the line Boosted Stealth. Alright, so let's kick things off with probably the most interesting comparison to make here, the Boosted Mini versus the Boosted Classic. In terms of design, you can see that the Boosted Mini is completely different from the Boosted Classic. The Boosted Classic comes in at the same 38 inches of length that we've been used to seeing in Boosted boards, and the Mini comes in at 29.5 inches, which makes it a lot closer to the size of your average skateboard. Now this is obviously going to affect the feel and the style in which you ride the board, which in my opinion is one of the most important aspects to look at here. The deck of the Classic is made of what Boosted is calling a Superflex composite, which is going to give you obviously a lot of flex while you're riding it, whereas the Mini uses a deep dish composite, which isn't going to flex as much, therefore making your ride a bit more bumpy. And then you also have to take into account that the Classic has 85mm wheels, whereas the Mini has 80mm wheels, which is also going to make the Mini feel a bit less stable and a bit more bumpy. Now, if you're going to be riding your board around a lot, I would probably opt for the longer deck that absorbs vibrations, because you probably don't want to have your feet turn into jello by the time you get to your destination. That would be bad. But on the other hand, the other thing you have to consider is that a shorter deck will mean better maneuverability. So if you know that you're going to be turning a lot of tight corners, the shorter deck might be the better option for you. In terms of weight, the Boosted Mini comes in at 15 pounds, 16.8 if you get the Boosted Mini X, and the Classic comes in at 17. The Classic will have a top speed of 22 miles per hour, the Mini will have 18, and if you want something in between, you can get the Boosted Mini X, and that will have 20 miles per hour. The Mini has a max range of 7 miles, which will take you about an hour and 15 minutes to charge back up, and the Classic has 14, which will take an hour and 45 minutes. Interestingly enough though, you can also match that range with the Mini if you get the Mini X, which will also go 14 miles. Both boards also have regenerative braking. And now for the last and most important fact, the price. The Classic costs $1,399, whereas the Mini comes in at a shocking $750 and $999 for the Mini X. Now in my opinion, that is still pretty expensive for an electric skateboard, but the fact that DJI was able to slash off almost half of the price from the original Boosted boards is still pretty awesome. So to sum it all up, if you pay half the price of a standard Boosted board, you're going to get a Boosted board which is smaller, more maneuverable, but also has half the range and 4 miles per hour less of speed. Overall, I still think that that's a pretty good deal, and it'll probably be what most people go with. And if range is what you value most, then you can still pay an extra $250 and get the Mini X, go a little bit faster, and also get the 14 miles of range that the standard will have. But if comfort is what you value most, then I think you should stick with the Boosted Classic. Alright, moving on to the Classic versus the second gen, which Boosted is still selling for some reason. This comparison is going to be a lot shorter. So both boards basically have the exact same dimensions, except for the fact that the Boosted second generation uses a bamboo deck and the new one uses that Superflex composite material, which we talked about earlier. They both go 14 miles, both have a max speed of 22 miles per hour, and they both use 85mm wheels, although the second generation uses orangutan wheels and the new one uses Boosted's own new Boosted Stratos wheels. The only other difference really is the weight. The second generation Boosted board is a bit lighter, coming in at 15.6 pounds, whereas the new one comes in at 17. But the charging time as well as the price are also the same, coming in at an hour and 45 minutes and $1,399. Now obviously the new Boosted Classic is going to be a lot more refined in some areas. It's going to be a lot more stable and smoother to ride, but overall the two boards are pretty similar, which just leaves me kind of confused. Alright, time for the last comparison, the Classic versus the elusive Stealth. Now first and foremost, obviously you can see that the Boosted Stealth is completely blacked out, which does look kind of cool. But similarly to the second gen, the Classic and the Stealth don't actually differ from one another too much. The price is going to be jumping up by $200 from $13.99 to $15.99, and the only real difference you're going to be getting is speed. They both have the same weight, the same range, the same charging time, and the same hardware overall. The only difference is that instead of going 22 miles per hour, you'll be able to go 24. So basically what that means is that you're going to be paying $200 for an additional 2 miles per hour, which is, yeah, it's kind of, I don't know. Oh, and of course you're also going to get that new color. But paying $200 for an extra 2 miles per hour just seems a bit crazy to me at the moment. Now the new extra 2 miles per hour will come inside of Boosted's 5th ride mode called Hyper Mode, I think. And that's going to be what enables you to hit 24 miles per hour and reduce the jerk filter, which is how quickly your boosted board can actually accelerate. But yeah, that's about it for the Boosted Stealth. Obviously this is targeting a very elite group of people who absolutely just need those extra 2 miles per hour. But for the average person, I definitely would not recommend the Boosted Stealth. So what do you guys think about all the new boosted boards, and are you considering maybe getting one? Let me know in the comments below, and while you're down there, if you like this video or learned something from it, click that like button, it helps out a bunch. And if you think I've earned it, consider subscribing, as that would really mean a lot. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.